Malcolm X said, absolute power corrupts, but powerlessness corrupts even more. So the feeling that you don't have any power is even more corrupting because it makes you passive aggressive. It turns you into these warriors who think they're doing something and you're not even aware of what you're really after. That was the whole point of the 48 Laws of Power. It was an inflection moment in our culture and our history where I was getting really upset with all of the political correctness and all of the squishy self-help books out there and trying to appeal to our good side, and things like ambition or power were ugly words. Man, I hated that. I thought it was so hypocritical. But I want people to admit, if you were saying look at yourself, that you have this desire for power. It can twist you. You can look for it in wrong ways, most definitely. But at least come to Jesus, come to Muhammad and admit that that's who you are, that that's what's motivating you in your behavior. And from there we can start seeing, well, maybe there are more constructive forms of power that I can go after. The great architect Santiago Calatrava, who I interviewed for this book, and Calatrava would say the greatest danger he faced in designing a building is after 5-6 years of working on a project, it would go stale and it no longer felt alive to him, and he didn't know why he was doing it, and it was a terrible feeling. And so what would happen whenever that happened to him is he would reassess it and then throw everything out. He would throw out all the drawings, all the 6 years of work, and start all over. And people would look at him like he was crazy. He did it because he had to get back to that sort of freshness that he needed to be more creative and in the moment. And he said, I didn't care. I don't care if I have to throw out 6 years of work. The feeling of making it better and being more alive in the moment is what matters. I thought that was sort of a powerful way of expressing it.
The worst situation is to feel like you're miserable, you're unhappy, you feel blocked in what you're doing, but you don't have the requisite energy to change yourself. You try different things, but you're half-assed about it. You consider changing your career. You maybe start thinking about some new skills, but you're not emotionally deeply engaged in what you're trying to change. You have to tell yourself, time is of the essence. You have less of it than you think. You could die tomorrow. It's not going to come easily. So you have to be energized and motivated and excited to actually make the change. It's your level of degree of want and energy that will get you out of your rut. And sometimes you have to feel desperate and urgent in order to really get the requisite energy.
Everything in the world is a tool. It depends on how we use it. So power is a tool that can be used for something very good, or it can be used for something very evil. And so the same thing with technology. So when it first started, social media was like fantastic. I remember back in the early days, before the algorithms got too out of control, like on Amazon, you could search a book and then other people would have lists of books that were similar to that one, and then you could network with them, etc.
But that's gone now.
It's all gone. They got rid of all that stuff because it's all about the money aspect.
How much more they can sell you.
Yeah. But the idea of this incredible opportunity to communicate to people all around the world was really intoxicating, and it was wonderful, to be honest. But then it got out of hand because of human nature, because we don't know how to control things, because things tend to go too far. It's like, are we in control of technology, or is technology in control of us? To actually sit back and have to think about what they're saying on Facebook or how they're responding is painful. It's unpleasant. It means accepting that they could be wrong, that maybe their convictions and their outrage is misplaced, that their anger is foolish. Nobody wants to admit that. It's better to think, I'm righteous, I know what's right, fuck everybody else. One of the main things in the book is we humans have aggressive impulses. I don't care who you are, the sweetest, most lovable person has aggressive impulses. And we have to find a way to channel them that are socially acceptable. Well, venting our outrage in social media and getting angry and saying, I hate these people, screw them, I'm gonna beat people up, is a way to vent your aggressive impulses, but disguise it to yourself. Like, I'm not fighting because I'm violent, I'm fighting because I believe in a cause. Actually, you're fighting because you are violent. That is the primary motivation.